Okay, we're going to start with, continue with the Punch. Who has Punch story? Anybody?
Yes, I have a story in the Punch. Members of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASAN, I think about 15 states across the Federation yesterday shut down their state houses of assembly, and they started a nationwide industrial action, which followed the expiration of the ultimatum for the implementation of financial autonomy by state assemblies in the country. They've been asking to have that state autonomy. So in Edo State, the House of Assembly was shut yesterday, and there was a protest, and lawmakers were denied access. The chairman, PASAN Edo State Chapter, Umaru Haruna, said the national president of the association, Mohammed Usman, had directed all chairmen and secretaries to mobilize members for maximum compliance. So, and he said the issue of autonomy is a constitutional matter, that it's been passed by the National Assembly and was accented by the immediate past president, President Muhammadu Buhari, and all the government just needs to do is to start implementation. But as we speak, as of today, nothing has been done, and the 36 states of House of Assembly still do not have autonomy. And people would say that the Houses of Assembly are a rubber stamp, and this is one of the reasons that they are a rubber stamp, because they do not have autonomy. So across the states, Abia State, they are giving directions, Sokoto State, Nasarawa State, Delta State, that all their offices, Kano State, all their offices should be shut till something is done about this. All right,
so yesterday, President Bola Tinubu admitted that the power sector privatization had failed to meet its objectives, as the national grid was only serving 15% of the country's electricity demand, despite being privatized 10 years ago. He spoke at the Nigeria Electricity Supply Industry Market at the event yesterday. He said that preliminary analysis also showed that the discos were currently undercapitalized to close to about 2 trillion naira, adding that Nigeria's power tariffs should also be rebased. He was represented by Special Advisor, Energy and Infrastructure, Office of the Vice President, Sadiq Wanka. He said, 10 years on, I believe it's fair to say that the objective of the sector, the privatization, hasn't been met, and there's so much more to be done concerning tax rebates and total recapitalization of the discos. Yeah. Okay, any other story in Punch?
Yeah, so a lot of tributes have been pouring in for Professor Ben Nwabueze. He passed away on Sunday. Is a native of Atani, Ogbaru local government area of Anambra State, and a senior advocate of Nigeria, was born in 1931. The Soludo mourned. A lot of people have been speaking great words about him. The official statement by Ohanaeze Ndigbo says it's with heavy heart that they are joining the entire Igbo nation to express their large mourning for the loss of a great luminary. The governor also mentioned the fact that he's had major influence on Nigeria that extends beyond his home state, but he lived a life that inspired many people transgenerationally within the legal space as well as citizens at large.
Yeah.
So
his books formed most of the law students in Nigeria.
Yes, it's a criminal law. And also, even I was going to let me add a bit to that. Even our president also sent his condolences to the family. When Professor Ben Nwabueze stepped into the shoes of Frederick Rotimi Alade Williams of blessed memory as an outstanding authority in constitution crafting and political reforms. And he also drafted the 1979 Constitution.
Wow.
This is a man that also helped lots of countries across Africa to draft their individual constitutions. The credibility group calls him the oracle of the law. Wow. This is a man that was was my dad's friend. He's really great. Yeah, he's somebody that was well respected.
I don't know. I skipped the story, but when you mentioned
respected,
there's no book
There's no
that will not know that.
Yeah, so he's so respected, and yes, which he deserves a befitting area.
Are we going to contribute for that?
No, he's able. Okay, moving on now to Vanguard. Chaos erupts in Rivers. You would not read the Rivers story since morning.
It's a hot topic.
Okay. Supreme Court verdict, struggle continues as long as I breathe, says Atiku. Ondo Assembly Speaker, you didn't take your people. Apologies won't stop your impeachment. Okay, good. FEC approves 2.17 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget. Autonomy, Oyo, Edo, Kano, Ogun, Ondo Assembly workers begin indefinite strike. Electricity sector privatization has failed, says federal government. And tributes as elder statement, Nwabueze dies at 94. Okay. You know something we forgot to add with the Professor Nwabueze? when he was 84, he prayed to God that he wanted to stay extra 5 years, and God gave him extra 10 years.
Wow.
So his prayer he died at 94, and he said there was so much more he wanted to do in life.
Well, don't worry, this burial, they will do it.
This burial,
he has lived.
Yeah, he lived.
And he's from the southeast, where burials for such elders is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, befitting. So I don't know whether the story made the front page, because BC took my story in the Vanguard, so I've changed it. So the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yesterday issued the warning to those people who like to come to fake meetings uninvited, unannounced, unappointed.
So
he said, I have noticed that, people sneaking around. I noticed people sneaking in and out of council, people who have had access to this place when they should not have, and that is not acceptable. And he gave the people he wanted exempted from the ban. He said only Adiza Usman, Special Advisor on Policy Coordination, Bayo Ononuga, Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, and Akim Muriokola, Principal Private Secretary, and Dami Lotun Aderemi, Private Secretary. Those are the exempted people who can come into fake
during
meetings.
fake meeting, some people that have access to
people want to see ministers.
They want to see one minister, they want to see the...
So they come in.
The Nigerian
fake meeting is between the president and his ministers, immediate cabinet.
But all the people who just know somebody, want to catch him
So
this
is
time.
that opportunity?
Yes, they have directed
Not the usual. They call you out.
And he has also tried to set record concerning the chief of staff. The rumors saying that he was not competent. He said, listen, leave my chief of staff alone. I have full confidence in him, and he's my chief of staff, So it's good that he's voicing it out, because speculating is going around, and people should...
But I even like this warning for... Can I see? Let me just hang around.
So Benue State University, Makurdi, yesterday placed 1 month suspension of 200 to 600 level medical students of the College of Health Sciences. And these particular students had, on October 25th, protested against the lack of water, adequate hostel accommodation in the institution, and the management had failed to address it. So they went ahead to give them suspension, excluding 100-level students, because those ones were not a part of it. And, they said in their statement that management committee also noted with dismay the recalcitrant attitude of these medical students before, during, and after the demonstration, and resolved as follows. Management committee will constitute an investigative committee to look into the remote and immediate causes of demonstration and advise us appropriately. However, they have suspended them before they are looking into the issues. So I would have thought that they would focus on the issues these students are raising. They are going to be staying home for 1 month instead of completing their studies. It will also affect them by the time they come back. So if you investigate and see that they actually need the good accommodation and water supply, you give that to them instead of just getting upset because they protested for what they needed and then suspend them. I don't think it's...
Still on the Vanguard.
Following the story of the Ondo State House of Assembly and their decision to probe and impeach the deputy governor. So the Speaker of the Ondo State House of Assembly has declared that the apology by Mr. Loki Ayedatiwa, the Deputy Governor of Ondo State, is a personal thing. It does not affect them at the Assembly. Mr. Speaker of the Assembly, Mr. Olamide Oladiji, has said that the apology is a personal thing. It does not concern the State Assembly. Their own is to continue with the process of impeachment and probe the Deputy Governor. He said the House is not divided. Some people are trying to divide the House, that the House is united in speaking.
Okay, another story. Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Mayhem in Rivers. Police arrest 2 people for setting school property ablaze. 70 bodies found in Abia community. History will vindicate me over Supreme Court judgment, says article. How seniority arrangements stalled appointment of new Supreme Court justices. Alaafin Stool. Court hears suit filed by Oyo Kingmakers against Makinde today. Ayedatiwa's apology can't stop his impeachment process, says Ondo Speaker. Tinubu passes vote of confidence in Gbajabiamila. And Ohanaeze leader Nwabueze dies. Tinubu others mourn. Okay, I want to continue with the Ondo Speaker story. I think
yes,
also here.
So the Ondo Speaker said that the House remains united, that they are not going to stop the case. His personal issues with the governor had nothing to do with what they are doing at the House of Assembly, and his apology was to the governor. It doesn't affect them. He also said that there was a case that the deputy governor, through his lawyers, are taking to stop the state, the speaker, who is the 4th defender, and as well as the assembly, the 6th defender, to not probe or impeach him, that they've taken it to Court of Appeal, but that they are going to continue. The deputy governor has asked the judge to hands off the case because they took it to court. There are many issues back and forth with what is happening in Ondo State. It is so sad that we are talking about politics as opposed to, yes.
I have the police arrest 2 people for setting school property ablaze in Ogun State. So the Ogun State Police Command arrested 2 pupils of the community primary school, Isheri Olofi, 6-year-old Wahis, and 9-year-old Malik, for allegedly setting the school property ablaze. They said they went to school on a Sunday and gathered books within the schools, gathered them, you know, in the center of class and set it on fire, intending, of course, to set the school ablaze. The police public relations officer for Ogun State, Omolola Odutola, said the incident was reported at the Ojodu Abiodun Divisional Police Station and by a community leader in the locality, and they immediately arrested the kids. They are also making inquiries to finding the parents of the children, you know, before this. This is such a serious crime that, so they've not arrested the parents yet. I'm just wondering what would be behind. Were they intentional in burning down the school, or they were just playing, you know, kids 6 and 9?
Children,
6 and 9 is, you know, is not within legal age for reasoning.
Right.
They usually is from 12 upwards. So maybe 2 playful children playing with fire and, you know.
That story? Okay, I think that's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, move on to the hot topic of today. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.